Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We will continue our reading from Canto 8, Brilliant as the Sun, retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam, Enchanting Pastimes. And the chapter today we will be reading is chapter 13, the Manus. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhaite girim yat kripatam bande Shri Gurundim Taivam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Hari Om Tatsat. Parikshit was eager to hear more. My lord, please tell me of the Lord's incarnations during the reign of other Manus. My dear King, Shukdev said, the current Manu is in whose reign we live is the seventh, Shraddha Dev. He is the sun god Vivaswan's son and is therefore known as Vaivaswat Manu. Shukdev explained who filled the post of Indra, the other gods and 7 primary sages during Shraddha Dev's rule. He concluded by describing how Krishna would appear as the dwarf Vaman, the youngest son of Kashyap and Aditi. Having described all the Manus who had already appeared, Shukadev went on to give the name of the 7 Manus who would appear in the future along with details about who would accept the post of Indra, the other gods and the 7 sages during their reigns, as well as details about the Lord's incarnation in those eras. He gave special attention to describing the dynasty of Swarni, the 8th Manu, and significant events in his reign. During Savarni's reign, King Bali will become Indra. Parikshit looked surprised. Do you mean Bali, the son of Virochan? Yes. Is he not one of the Asuras? Yes, when he gifted Lord Vishnu 3 paces of land in charity, the Lord used that opportunity to take everything from him. However, Bali's response very much pleased Vishnu. Consequently, Bali achieved spiritual perfection. Though at first Vishnu found Bali with ropes, later he affectionately installed him as the king of Sutal, which is more opulent than the heavenly planets. King Bali lives there and is more comfortably situated than even Indra. He then told Parikshit other details about Savarni Manu's reign. You will be interested to know that some of those who will become the 7 sages under Savarni Manu are associated with your dynasty. They are Galava, Diptiman, Parashuram, Ashwathama, Kripacharya, Rishyashringa, and my father Vyasdev. Parikshit became absorbed in thought, remembering these personalities. Galav was one of the many sages who came to Hastinapur to see Krishna and Balram. Diptiman was one of the Krishna's sons. Parshuram was famous son of Jamadagni who had practically obliterated the warrior class by defeating them in 21 battles. Ashwathama, the son of Drona, had tried to kill him while he was still an unborn baby. Kripacharya later became their trusted advisor despite having fought against the Pandavas. Rishyashringa was the sage born with deer-like horns growing from his forehead. He was famous for having been instrumental in the appearance of Lord Ram and his 3 illustrious brothers. Shukadev added that in that era, Krishna's incarnation, Sarvabhaum, would depose Purandar from his post as Indra and install Bali as the king of heaven. He summarized the reign of the remaining 6 Manus, mentioning who Indra and the other administrative gods would be in those eras. He also named the 7 sages and the Vishnu incarnation associated with each Manu. Finally, he said, I have described 14 Manus appearing in the past, present and future. Their total duration is 1000 yoga cycles or 1 day of Brahma. This is called a Kalpa. This is a very short chapter, so we'll read chapter 14 also. Chapter 14 is the cosmic administration. Parikshit was fascinated to learn that in the era of each Manu, the universal administration changed. He said, O great sage, kindly describe the duties of the Manus and their administrations. I am also curious to know how they are appointed to these positions. Shukadev replied, do you remember? I told you the Supreme Lord Yagya became the Indra during Swambhuva Manu's reign. Yes, Master. Well, in each era, the Vishnu incarnations, such as Yagya, appoint and oversee the Manus. The administrative gods and the 7 sages. Shukadev explained that the universe goes through cycles of 4 ages, Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali Yuga. In Satya Yuga, the religious principles are observed in full without deviation. In Treta Yuga, these principles are somewhat neglected and only 3/4 of the religious duties continue. In Dwapar Yuga, only half remain. In Kali Yuga, only a fourth remain, and even they gradually disappear. By the end of Kali Yuga, virtually all religious principles are lost and people become highly degraded. At the end of Kali Yuga, it is the duty of the 7 sages to re-establish service to Krishna as the eternal religious principle in human society. Then the Lord instructs the Manus to re-establish the religious duties associated with the 4 occupations: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Their sons and grandsons are responsible for protecting religious principles throughout each era. In return, they enjoy the results of sacrifices performed on earth along with the administrative gods, Indra, and who enjoys great opulence by Vishnu's grace, is responsible for maintaining all creatures by providing rain to all the planets throughout the universe. In each age, Krishna advents as liberated souls, such as the 4 Kumars. To teach transcendental knowledge, he assumes the form of great sages like Yajna, Valkya to teach the principles by which people can live piously, and he takes the form of great yogis like the Tatraya to teach the mystic yoga system. As the Prajapatis like Marichi, the Lord generates progeny, and as the kingly descendants of Manu, he kills thieves and other criminals. In the form of time, Krishna destroys everything, as the qualities of these leaders of human society come from Krishna. All material attributes come from him, including conventionally unpleasant ones like fatness and thinness, aging and senility. Parikshit said, "So the Lord causes all actions and reactions in the material universe?" "Yes, exactly," replied Shukadev. So many philosophers try to understand the ultimate cause behind everything, but because they are deluded by the Lord's illusory energy, despite all their research and wrangling, they cannot see the cause is Vishnu. And even if they do accept that, they cannot understand his acts or why he performs them. Parikshit sighed. "I guess it's best to stop worrying about things then and just be happy chanting Krishna's glories." Shukadev laughed. "I have now finished explaining how each Brahma's days is divided into 14 eras, each presided over by a different Manu." Thank you for joining us. We'll continue next time with chapter 15, the great King Bali, and wish you all a very happy Ekadashi for tomorrow. Hare Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.